Today on FTC Now Highlights, I'm traveling back to Coward, South Carolina, where I join up with Mr. Marvin Russ once again at Old Plantation Syrup. Today he's going to show us the beginning process of how he makes his delicious Old Plantation Syrup. And this time, he's invited everyone out to join in the process, not to mention he's kicking in breakfast. You guys can't pass up this extra sweet edition of FTC Now Highlights. The last time I was at Old Plantation Syrup, Mr. Russ gave me a first-hand view, or should I say taste, at the bottling process for his signature syrup line. It was an interesting look at how a small company in a humble location could do so much and manage to ship internationally across the globe. But it did leave me wondering, just how does the whole process begin? So you can imagine how happy I was to receive Mr. Russ's invitation to come back out to Coward for his open house, to see just how it all starts. And this time, there was a promise of pancakes.
I'm Marvin Russ at Old Plantation Syrup at Coward, South Carolina. They bring the cane in on trucks and trailers. We squeeze it, run it through a press and squeeze the juice out of it. We pump it inside the syrup mill into 8-foot vats and we cook it, what they call evaporator pans. It takes probably 8 hours to cook 300 gallons of juice per pan. And then we break it down when it comes off syrup. We take it out and put it in tubs, and then the next process is blending it. But them rollers have 50,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. It takes and squash it and mash the juice out of them. And we take and process the juice into syrup. It takes 10-to-1 ratios, 10 gallons of juice to 1 gallon of syrup. And it takes approximately on our average 5-foot stalk of cane, take about approximately 8 of them to make a gallon of juice. So that'll be about 80 stalks of cane per gallon of syrup. That piece of equipment was made back in I believe back in the late 1800s. That's when the Cokers in Hartsville had, Coker Pedigree Seed Farm had that machine. They used to make syrup the year back in the 50s. I believe they quit in 1955 was the last year. And they sold out, they quit with the syrup. And I got the press, and they had their own line of syrup, sugar cane. We called Coker Highland. They still sell around there. There's a good bit up around Tillmansville, South Carolina. The pan got baffles in it. The syrup actually runs 80 feet in that pan, goes back and forth. It runs 80 feet. The pans are an inch higher in the front than it is in the back. When it starts syruping, the syrup will run to the front and the water will run to the back. The only way you make it mix is, the only way the water will mix with the syrup is make it mix. It won't mix by itself.
It really is an amazing process that you have to see to believe. As soon as the cane hits the press, it's like this really sweet smell fills the air. In just a few seconds, the juice is pouring into the vat. Now from that vat, it transfers to the interior of the building, filling these two 300-gallon pans. The cane juice is then mixed with water and boiled to begin the syrup process. They then run the juice into stainless steel tubs and let them cool in a bottling room. The syrup is boiled once again in the filtering pot, where it is moved through 32 filters into the bottling pot. From there, the 170-degree syrup is poured into each bottle. Out of all the folks that came out to the event, I met two very interesting characters. Terry James is a local of Mars Bluff, whose family definitely has a unique history in the making of cane syrup.
I love history, and this is a part of my history here, sugar cane. My father and grandfather used to grow this back when my father was a little boy. So I just came out to kind of see the real deal, so to speak. It's very, very important that we keep these kind of things alive. We can't forget from whence we've come, you know. So prayerfully this will be educational lessons for others as well about the history of sugar cane and syrup and those things, that these young men can keep it going. Well, the way that they squeeze the sugar cane, it's a little bit different than what they used to do, because a long time ago they had the mules that go around in a circle and they would poke it down in there and it would actually distract the juice from it. And that's how my father, when he was a little boy about 5, he lost 3 of his fingers doing that. Yeah, he was responsible for pushing the sugar cane down in there and letting the wheel roll around and squeeze the juice out of it. And so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but anyway, his fingers got caught in there, and they got it up off his hands, but his hands swelled up and it got infected and they had to take them off. The history of sugarcane, I'm gonna do a little bit more research myself on the history of sugarcane in this area, because my ancestors are from a little community out in Mars Bluff called Jamestown. It started in 1870, and we still have possession of property. So I'm looking to do some of this historical stuff there, like with family reunion time or when we're trying to celebrate our family's history and legacy.
And Frankie Welch is an old Plantation Syrup loyalist who brought her entire family out for a quiet breakfast and a chat with Mr. Russ.
My name is Frankie Welch. I'm from Florence, and we come down to the syrup factory down here in Cowards, and we come every year. We enjoy it. Nice people, friendly people. We get to see how the syrup is made and how they grind it, everything, and get to meet the people that make it. And we also buy the syrup and we have it shipped all over the world. Madison, Wisconsin, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Fort Dodge, Iowa, Creston, Iowa. We have it shipped everywhere to the kids. They love the syrup. And also Mr. Russ does everything himself. He mails it out and ships it and everything, and all we do is just mail a check into him and pay for it. That is it. And he does it, and one year he forgot and said that we didn't owe him anything, and we did. We did owe him for that year, so we mailed him in a check for 2 years, even though he said we didn't owe him. That we know we didn't pay it, but he didn't know it. But really nice, wonderful people down here. We love it. We love it. We come and eat. They do the cooking, and it's like the sausage, the pancakes and everything. All that is homegrown. Everything is grown around here in South Carolina. And so whenever they do the cooking and the coffees, everything, we enjoy it. We love it. A lot of friendly people. It's the cane that when they grind it up and it makes that juice, that's the most, it is just really, really something that you would have to see to believe. If you didn't know anything about it, it's real interesting. It's the grinding, I think, and when they put it through that machine and it, makes the juice for the syrup. I think that's the most, interesting thing that I've seen. They have molasses, they got the syrup, and they also now making barbecue sauce. The barbecue sauce is awesome. So, and I'm sure, the others, sweet potatoes, collard greens, you can buy anything when you come down. He's almost got it like a market, a vegetable market almost. He'll also, sweet potatoes, I've gotten sweet potatoes here, before. Every time I come, he gives me some sweet potatoes along with the syrup and whatever. But it's a wonderful place. We enjoy it.
We've been doing this for quite a few years. It looked like everybody enjoyed itself. We have come all the way from Southern Pines, North Carolina, down to the edge of Georgia, all over the northern part of South Carolina, and the southern part of North Carolina. I think this is about our 6th year. 6 or 7 years we've been doing this here. Open house for the public. We don't charge them anything. It's just a contribution we try to give back to the public. As long as I'm able, we'll do it right on years to come. I got 2 sons. I hope they continue to right on.
Did you know it takes 8 stalks of cane to make a gallon of cane juice? And 10 gallons of juice to make 1 gallon of syrup. That's an amazing 80 stalks of cane to make only 1 gallon of syrup. Think about that the next time you're chowing down at IHOP. For FTC Now Highlights, I'm Mark Roberts.